standby member for LCRC, the Local Criminal Record Center, for that specific area.
So, again, the Commission has heard a little bit about the Local Criminal Record Center and the importance of the LCRC in crime scene management. So this is an important person to arrive on the scene, right?
Absolutely, to assist with photographs and fingerprints and the like. Yes, Commissioners.
And if you see at paragraph 4, she says, in fact, if you could just read paragraph 4 into the record.
On 2021-0709 at 11:45, due to a request of Warrant Officer Rikhotso, I attended an alleged crime scene, an alleged scene of crime at Omena Park, Aerodrome Drive, Ayrton.
Okay. Now, when I read this paragraph, I read it as saying that at 11:45, which was as a result of the request of Officer Rikhotso, she attended the scene, so that she was there at 11:45. What is your comment on that?
My comment, Commissioners, would be as follows. When I arrived at the crime scene, one of the things that the investigating officer, Captain Sebola at that time, Captain, requested me was to find out what the delay was in LCRC's arrival on the scene. And remember, my original statement would indicate that I only arrived at about 1. So I then made a call to their officers, and I said, if my memory serves me well, that this individual was just busy on another scene but is en route.
So she wasn't there when you arrived?
I did not see her there, and the investigating officer also didn't see her there.
And you arrived at around 1 o'clock? So
I arrived at about 1, okay. Yes.
So this paragraph 4 at 11:45, it's not correct. Maybe she got a call at 11:45.
I think that would be more correct, Commissioners, yes.
Okay. So then we have the crime scene. Page 22 is the index to the sketch, and then 23 is the sketch itself. So if we have a look at 23. All right, what are we looking at here, Colonel?
This would have been the crime, a sketch of the crime scene at the time when Warrant Officer Wood was on the crime scene and what she has observed.
And we see in the sketch the alphabets A, B, C, D, E, etc. Can you just tell us from the sketch which is the actual container, the truck with the drugs?
That would be A, Commissioners.
And what is B?
B would be the black bakkie, Commissioners.
And E?
E would be one of the vehicles, I think that was Pakula's vehicle, if my memory serves me well. It was a red Kia. Yes, it was a red Kia.
Okay. So that's, E is a vehicle of one of the officers. And then if we look a little further down, you see C and D. Those are 2 other vehicles.
Yes.
And according to Officer Wood, C is a VW belonging to a suspect, she says.
If my memory serves well, Commissioner, C was a GTI Golf driven by the traffic officer, Mashaba.
So C is Mashaba's vehicle.
Yeah.
And next to Mashaba's vehicle is D, which is a silver BMW. Do you know who that belonged to?
Mr. Mashaba's informant. Cannot recall. We spoke about it earlier. What his surname was, I think is Nku. Yes.
So they parked next to each other. How big is this area in the sketch plan?
It is quite a big area that inner area there, I would say, is at least twice the size of this venue that we're in width,
Okay.
and maybe 2-3 times in length.
And if you were to describe, based on the sketch plan, where the inner cordon would be, where would that be?
The inner cordon would typically be from the container in front of vehicle E, around vehicle A, and there where it's written on the sketch where warehouse 7 starts.
Okay. And the outer cordon?
The outer cordon would be from the outside of, in my opinion, from the outside of warehouse 7, the top line of warehouse 7 to at least the bottom line of warehouse 4. And then I would also have cordoned off vehicle C and D.
Okay, so quite a large area.
Yes.
And that, you say, was not cordoned off?
The outer cordon was not cordoned off on my arrival.
Okay. Do you know why it wasn't? Who was in charge of the scene at the time?
At the time that I arrived there, I was informed that Captain Sebola was the crime scene manager, and so he was in charge at that time of the crime scene.
So, I mean, this is disturbing because when you arrived, it's 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So many hours have gone by, as we saw from the radio, two-way radio call that started in the morning. This is 1 o'clock when you arrive, that had not taken place. Okay. So read 46.11, please, into the record, and then we'll move.
Before you do that, Colonel, in an operation such as this,
Sorry, Commissioner, I didn't hear you.
in an operation such as this, where information, according to Mr. Mashaba, he got the information on the 8th for the first time from his informer. And you've testified what happened on the 8th. He went to, I think, Yellow Jersey, and he was told, no, you can't search.
Correct.
And the following day, they escort this vehicle to the truck to Scania. Can you think of a reason why the informer would be on the scene, on the crime scene?
I cannot think of any reason now.
Yes.
It's actually, in my opinion, it's not a good thing to have an informer on the crime scene, because then you can expose him. And an informer is supposed to be a person in the background and not to be exposed
Yes.
on the physical crime scene.
Yes. So ordinarily they wouldn't be on the scene, in your experience?
In my experience, definitely not.
Thank you.
We're going to come back to it. So let's just, 46.11 of your statement, if you could read that into the record.
As mentioned, Captain Sebola, now Lieutenant Colonel Sebola, was designated was the designated investigating officer and took over the crime scene as the crime scene manager. After interviewing the 3 officers on the scene, he was of the view that the reasons for their presence was unsatisfactory and that they ought to be arrested for dealing in drugs. He then took over that process while I assisted with the exhibit processes as outlined in my main statement.
Okay. So this is the appropriate place now for us to go to your main statement. Can we go to that statement, please?
Yes.
Because you now deal with your involvement in detail. And I'd like you to go to paragraph 3.
I'm there.
All right. So can you read paragraph 3 into the record?
On Friday, 2021-07-09, at about 1100 hours, I received a call from the provincial head DPCI Gauteng, Major General Kadwa. The General informed me that there was a narcotics crime scene that he needed me and my team to attend to. The scene was at the premises of Scania Trucks in Aeroton, south of Johannesburg. He informed me that a large consignment of drugs was found in the back of a container truck, in brackets, shipping container.
Okay, continue.
I was at a meeting in Midrand and informed the general as such. I then instructed my second in command, Lieutenant Colonel Ludik at the time, telephonically to contact General Kadwa and arrange the standby members and himself to attend the scene.
And did he?
It was reported to me that he actually drove to the scene with General Kadwa.
And did they arrive with standby members?
He did arrive with standby members, and I found him and the standby members at the scene when I arrived there at about 1 o'clock.
Okay. Continue.
Because of the mentioned meeting I was involved in, I arrived at the scene at about 1 o'clock on the same day. I found a large number of police officers on scene, uniform and detectives. Also on scene was members of my team, Brigadier Sekubela. The Brigadier is the DPCI Serious Organized Crime Provincial Commander and in essence my direct commander. Also there was General Kadwa, the provincial DPCI provincial head.
And what was the scene? What did you see when you arrived? Can you tell us what you witnessed when you arrived?
Like I stated earlier, there was a lot of police officers, a lot of police vehicles there, and I would describe it as close to chaotic.
About how many people are you talking about?
40, 50 people, easy.
And in this area that you said that had not been cordoned off?
Indeed, correct, Commissioners.
So further contaminating the scene?
Further contaminating the scene, yes.
You can continue.
I approached Lieutenant Colonel Ludik, who briefed me on the situation of the scene, and he also indicated to me in my absence he appointed Captain Sebola, now Lieutenant Colonel, as the investigating officer. I approached Captain Sebola as the arrangement is that the investigating officer on scene is the scene manager, and I offered my assistance and help to him.
Okay, and let's pause you there for a moment. Why did Lieutenant Colonel Ludik delegate the scene to Captain Sebola? You had given him an instruction to go and attend and manage the scene, right?
Indeed. But he was not an investigating officer. He was not the... We sort of make turns on who's the next investigating officer. And this time the coin fell with Captain Sebola at the time.
Okay. So he is instructed by Colonel Ludik.
In my absence, Colonel Ludik was at that stage my second in command of the team. So he instructed Captain Sebola to be the investigating officer.
Okay. And do you know what time they had arrived on the scene?
I am not sure, Commissioners. It would probably be in their statements.
Okay. So, but certainly by the time you arrive at 1 o'clock, it's chaotic.
I can describe it as such, Commissioner.
All right. Can you continue with paragraph 7? And we'll take that slowly, but if you could just start reading that into the record.
Maybe before you do that, Colonel, how does it work? We know Mr. Mashaba is from traffic, he's chief of traffic, and then he's called his people. In my understanding, all of them are SAPS, not DPCI. And I think elsewhere, either in your statement, you are repeating what someone said, that SAPS Boisons were there. How does it work that this becomes a DPCI scene, as we see with Sebola, when in fact the original finder, if for lack of a better word, the original finder of the drugs is traffic, but there's also SAPS by the time you get your call from General Kadwa. How does that work?
Commissioner, as I indicated earlier, the issue is that when it comes to this size of drug consignments, it is clearly a transnational or even trans-international trafficking of illicit narcotics that's taking place. So that's why the DPCI would typically take over such an investigation. Because we have a bigger footprint, and as I indicated earlier, our national coordinator also deals with law enforcement agencies outside of our borders. So that's why it would typically be a DPCI matter, Commissioner.
And is that a common understanding within law enforcement?
Yes,
that-
Commissioner.
So Chief Mashaba, if he knows anything about drug enforcement, he would have known that this is a DPCI matter and would have contacted DPCI. Does it follow necessarily?
In my opinion, he should have known as a senior member. Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, that this is a DPCI mandate matter.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Paragraph 7.
Paragraph 7. Captain Sebola indicated to me that he requested me to assist with the following issues. Point 1, he complained that there were too many people within the crime scene. I instructed some of my team members to cordon the immediate area around the vehicles involved, the truck with the container, and the vehicles on which the exhibits was loaded onto. Non-essential personnel were moved outside the cordoned area.
Okay, so is this now where you establish the outer
The
cordon?
outer cordon, yes.
Why did it require you to arrive on the scene to do this if Captain Sebola was in charge?
Captain Sebola, one must understand, as I mentioned, Commissioners, it was a chaotic scene, and I think he was more concerned with safeguarding the exhibits as our protocols needs us to do. The exhibits and the suspects, he was concentrating on that, and that's why I think he initially left the outer cordon not to be done.
But you accept that the appropriate thing for him to have done was to cordon it off. There were many officers on the scene that could have assisted to do that.
Absolutely, it was. But at the end of the day, one should have been on the scene to realize how hectic it actually was. So to a large extent, I understand why he did what he did. Because he was trying to... The scene was seriously compromised and seriously contaminated at that stage already by the number of people on the scene. So in trying to start dealing with that, I think he just, it was an elephant that he needed to attend to, so he started tending to it piece by piece and the like. And I think that's why the outer cordon at that stage was not a priority for him. That's just my opinion, based on previous experience with him on crime scenes.
It was an overwhelming scene.
It was one of the biggest scenes I've ever attended to personally as well.
Right. And was General Kadwa still on the scene when you arrived?
Yes, he was.
And what would have been his responsibility in a scene like this, chaotic of the scene, overwhelming? And you have General Kadwa, who is the provincial head. What would have been his responsibility?
Generally speaking, General Kadwa would not have involved himself in ground operational issues. So he would have not instructed people to cordon and to do X, Y, and Z. Typically, he would just be in the background and he would be briefed what was going on.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I do find this interesting, the extent to which there is a lack of control here, right, of the scene. So the first thing is you move in and you cordon off.
I cannot now remember the fourth one, but there were four suspects, Commissioners.
Was it not the informant?
That was Nku.
That would have been Mr. Nku, Commissioner.
I think when you said Ndao, you meant Nku.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, Commissioner.
So Pakula, I just want to also get a bit of clarity on this. And in order to do that, we need to go to the first statement you made on this, not for the Commission, but at the time. And that's your statement of 13 July 2021, which is CJC 203. And it's at page 1 of the bundle.
Yes.
Colonel, you should have been a doctor in your other life.
My handwriting is a challenge. I've heard that so many times.
So we're going to need your help here. I did read it, believe it or not, and with some difficulty. So let's just have a look at this statement. And what I would like you to read, well, you can read anything you want, but my particular interest was at paragraph 5. Could you read that into the record for the commissioners?
I ask, how do you know what's written in paragraph 5?
Yeah, Commissioner, sometimes it's even a challenge for myself. But I will read it to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
I was assisting with the general working on the scene when I was introduced to Colonel Sipungu as being the commander of Warrant Officer Pakula, a member of the National Investigation Unit based in Pretoria. Warrant Officer Pakula was one of the persons placed under arrest. I then, in the presence of General Kadwa, I asked Colonel Sipungu if he was aware of the operation that his member was conducting. He indicated that he is actually on leave, but received a message from his member, Warrant Officer Pakula, at 0827 that he, Warrant Officer Pakula, was following up on drug-related information. He also offered to show me
The message.
to show us the message. I left the colonel and continued with my duties, and I recall that I now I have a
Relayed.
challenge.
Relayed?
Relate to Captain Sebola that we in due course should also obtain a statement from Colonel Sipungu, and also indicated to him that what the colonel said.
Okay. So when Officer Pakula, before Officer Pakula, what this says is that before Officer Pakula arrived on the scene, he did call his commander.
That's what's indicated to me, yes.
Okay. And he and informed his commander, and as I understand it, but correct me if I'm wrong, whose Colonel Sipungu did not object to him attending to the scene.
It didn't look like that. Colonel Sipungu, as I remember correctly and as I stated here, was on leave at the time. So Pakula should have informed whoever was acting in Sipungu's place, but that is just my view of this.
But even though he was on leave, he came to the scene, Colonel Sipungu.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Is that normal?
No, that's not normal. If you're on leave, you're on leave. You're not supposed to involve yourself with official duties when you're on leave.
So you then inform Captain Sebola of this conversation, and you say to him, this is what was told to you, and that a statement should be taken from Colonel Sipungu.
That is indeed correct, Commissioners.
Okay. And do you know whether that statement was taken at the time?
I think it was taken later, but I cannot confirm that.
Okay. Let's move to paragraph 4. 7.4 of your statement. We're back to your statement. Sorry.
Okay. He requested members to deal with the exhibits. I then, and this I remember specifically because there was